I'm the Doctor of Who and this is Sam. Gee, guess what? We should talk about Twice Upon a Time, shouldn't we?
We should.
Well, should I make it, you know, there'd be a title graphic here, we'll do that. So, there's things that we like, and there's things we don't like. But first, because it's more enjoyable to talk about, we'll talk about the things we do like. What do we like, Sam?
I like how the episode was very quiet and simple. It was very nice. It was very good to have an episode for Peter Capaldi, especially for his last one, that wasn't just filled with random crap.
Considering Capaldi is the best actor they've had, it was nice for his final episode to allow him to act. And of course, visually it was stunning because, once again, Rachel Taylor is amazing because, like, my god, why doesn't, if only TV could afford the same director for an entire series. Doctor Who looks different when she is holding on to it.
It looks like it belongs on a movie screen.
Yes.
Is what we're trying to say.
Yes. Like,
yeah.
Look, every will be a different shot that we were like,
So another thing we also liked about this episode was the music. The score was brilliant.
It's so great. And this episode was not just a finale for Capaldi and Moffat, it was a finale for Murray Gold. So it was very much like...
Oh, it was actually?
Yeah, he's moving on as well. I'm sorry to break that to you, Sam. My god, I can't even touch up here, there's just too much here.
Oh,
it's like he was having his finale as well, because we got a bit of I Am the Doctor.
He is the Doctor.
We got Vale de Ham, however you say that one.
If you're leaving the show, you'd want to sort of put in as much as what you've done into the one episode, which does make sense now.
Totally, that's why there's
Very
so much
sad.
reuse, but also he just reworked them as well.
Yeah, like that's what I love the most. Like movies, TV shows, when they take a theme that's been used before, but just alter it a little bit, just giving
to
it
suit wherever it is.
But yeah, that's very sad that he's leaving. I didn't know
yeah, I'm sorry, Sam. And as we said, this episode's quite quiet in terms of end of the universe scale, because kind of all of Series 10 was that. So it's kind of like, let's just be nice and quiet for this episode. So I thought the plot was simple. It did what it wanted to do, rather than a lot of Doctor Who episodes where there's just like all these insane great ideas that never come to a point. I feel like this episode had the idea of memories being preserved in these glass forms, and it did that. And that was it. A bit that you enjoyed was the middle of the universe section of the episode.
I very much enjoyed the fact that we sort of got to see the Daleks, but in a way that we don't often see them, like out of their shell, literally out of their shell. And even when they were out of their shell, they didn't completely show them to us. Like we saw small little specks of them here and there, but they never showed us the full entirety of a natural Dalek. And then of course, the saviour, Rusty comes in, blows all of our minds.
What a choice! It was really funny because, annoying but funny, but okay, there was someone at Whovians that was like, hey, there's a character from Into the Dalek in this episode. And we were like, well, okay. But then we thought about it and it's like, oh well, it's probably Clara, because she's definitely in this. But then, when it was Rusty, it was like, that's who you choose? That's who's coming back for this episode? But I think what it does is what Doctor Who does really great is it references things in a way that's so mysterious. Even if you have no idea who Rusty is, you're like, yeah, no, that sounds cool. Yeah, that's an interesting... He went inside a Dalek and told it the Daleks...
Simple.
Like, sure.
But also one of my favourite lines from that was Rusty telling the Doctor that he would make a good Dalek. That was just like... Because like, we've heard the Dalek say it to the Doctor so many times before, but for me, because it was coming from a Dalek that wasn't entirely a bad Dalek. He was sort of like, because he said that he says to the Doctor, "You taught me to hate the Daleks." So he knows the Daleks are bad. He knows that they're full of hatred and that they just want to exterminate things. And then he looks at the Doctor and he goes, no, "But you'd still make a good Dalek."
And just wrapping up the things we did like, seeing the classic TARDIS. Oh, it's so great.
That was very cool.
Great. And it was just full of good references. Ones I didn't get, but watching the thing, like, the Big Ben recreation clock and stuff, it's just like, oh, Capaldi at his finest, to be honest.
Oh, just, like, the whole scene where he's saying goodbye to Bill
and
man. Nardole. Just some of the shots in that, some of the slow shots of him with his coat, just clutching it.
I was watching it with a mate, and I was like, I think that is my favourite shot in Doctor Who.
Yeah, like just clutching it and looking down.
It was
like,
just,
you know,
traumatizing. And then the line, like, one more walk, Miss Potts. Oh, frick! He's alone. Even when the first Doctor is there, he is alone.
Yeah.
This whole episode, to be fair, he is alone apart from Matt Gaddis, but he's hardly there. He is dying, and he is entirely by himself.
Yeah.
He's surrounded by his memories,
Yeah.
and
Pretty much, yeah.
then his memories leave him. They leave him alone to die. It was just the line of...
Time to leave the battlefield.
It's like,
Yeah.
for all the shit that Moffat got, he wrote some good stuff.
Yeah,
My gosh.
He definitely took the Doctor in a different route than what we've seen him before. He definitely gave him that sort of dark, emotional aspect that I've really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Like, I love seeing the Doctor when he has these emotional moments. Like, the Name of the Doctor, where Clara is about to hand him a cup of tea, and she's saying to him...
just breaks.
And he just breaks down, like, just starts crying. And it's moments like that that I've really come to appreciate from Moffat, because... Again, we're seeing the Doctor in a different light.
Yeah.
And it's so good to see a different light for a character that's been around for more than 50 years.
But, speaking of things that are good, we have to turn the flip side of Twice Upon a Time. What are things that are not good? And for that, I asked my iPad, what are things that are not good?
You're in for a jolly good smack bottom.
Oh yeah, the first Doctor being a sexist.
Excuse me?
I feel like that would be more in terms with the era and the actor of William Hartnell himself.
Yeah.
The first Doctor, like, he didn't run around...
Just abusing women.
Yeah.
Like, there is definitely utterance of it. There is... and again, it's of the era, it's not of the character. It's not like the first Doctor was a horrible person to women.
Yeah.
It's just the writing of the time. So I think bringing that forward into here, I assume would stop people from wanting to watch William Hartnell's Doctor, because you're like, I don't want to watch that, he's horrible. And I just think... It, in a way, disgraced his legacy as the Doctor, in a way.
Because there were moments for me, when he would say these things, it sort of took me out of the moment a little bit. I was like, oh, okay. And then I'll sort of go back into it.
Yeah.
Like, when you're watching a show like Doctor Who, you don't want things like that to take you out of what you're watching.
Totally.
Because it's like, that's not the character, you know?
It's a Facebook comment. Like, it's like the first Doctor commented and said, hey, your room looks dusty, and then someone else commented and said, hey, don't say that. It's like... Well, rather than, hey, don't say that, don't write that line. Because apart from that, and I know this is a like, and I don't know why it belongs in here, the first Doctor being in this episode was...
It was great.
Like...
It was great.
A shot that would have come up in this shot with the two of them standing, with the TARDIS, with the Christmas armistice, like, my goodness, it was
Very good.
It was easily the best multi-Doctor thing, because they were both characters. It wasn't like, hey look, the Doctors are together, this is this character and this character... having a discussion about death.
Yeah.
Like, apart from the sexism, great job.
The one thing I wasn't too keen on, and that I know that Will wasn't too keen on, was the villain. They sort of start off like the Doctor's like, I'm gonna, if I find out what you're doing, I'm not gonna, like, I'm gonna stop you, blah blah blah. You kind of feel like this is gonna be some big villain, and then it's like, oh, they're actually doing something good. Like,
So, and you build them up as villains. In no way are they good people at the start.
Yeah.
They're like ripping people out of time. There's the shot of them basically going to strangle Mark Gatiss. It's like, what do you want us to think of these people? Clearly they're villains until you tell us otherwise. So it was just, there was no build up to that reveal.
Yeah.
It was just, hey, no, they're good.
When we got Capaldi talking to Rusty, and he's like, oh, well, they're good. I
don't know what to do about this.
I don't know what to do. We didn't know what to do either. We were like, okay.
And also, I don't think it was well explained. Like, is the idea that anyone who dies, their memories are taken? Because
that's what I got from it. I got that, like, no matter who you are, whatever species
we're grabbing your memories.
We're taking your memories out so that you can still sort of live.
But they said it on New Earth, which makes me, like, the assumption there is that anyone on New Earth can sign up to this organisation, and upon their death they take the memories. But you've got Nardole, who is on that ship somewhere. Like, I can't... He hasn't left.
Bill, for that is. It's like Bill was a Cyberman, and then...
And Nardole is a robot. Why do they... He can't die. I just realised that. Just thought of that. That's made that a bit more annoying. Moving on! One of 4 characters in this episode is Mark Gatiss's the captain. He's great, it's a cool reveal when it turns out that he's a Lethbridge, but it's extremely predictable from the moment he isn't given a last name.
It's just way too convenient.
Yeah.
Like, you've got this guy sitting there in an outfit very similar to the Brigadier.
Yeah, with a moustache.
With a moustache.
It's like...
Same coloured hair, and you're just like...
Here it
the
comes.
whole episode, you're kind of like... could he be related?
Yeah, and then it's just like,
yeah, he is.
I am! And another face that we know that we kind of said goodbye to was Bill. It's another great goodbye. Like, they're hugging
it's really
goodbye,
cool,
and it's,
yeah.
but it's just, as we've said, there's a lot of problems with how she's there in the first place.
Yeah.
And I just think it lessened the previous goodbye,
Yeah.
and I just don't think that we really needed her specifically there.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people that said, Susan, his granddaughter.
Yeah.
It could have been her.
It could have been, yeah.
Like, and then we would have had an adventure with the first Doctor and her granddaughter, and
Yeah.
it's like, Bill's inclusion doesn't help the episode in any way. It doesn't hinder it either.
I feel like she was just there as fan service, really. And even in the episode, like, you've got the Doctor saying, you aren't real. You aren't real, Bill.
Like, you want us to care
Yeah.
that she's there?
But I feel like that was, in a way, us as fans going, well, it's not really Bill. And then you've got the character of Bill replying with, no, but I am
But
the
it's
real
me.
Bill.
Yeah.
But still, it's like, you're not Bill.
It's almost the same problem with the first Doctor lines. It's like, look, if you need to repercuss that with, no, this is cool, then don't do it. Clearly, as a writer, I feel like you need a crutch of like, hey, no, this is really Bill. It's like, well, then you've clearly not written this well.
Yeah. Like, if you need to convince the audience that it's Bill...
Yeah, it's like, you're not doing a good job.
Hey.
Clara returning was very forced and very expected.
Yeah.
And whilst it is beautiful...
Yeah.
And him going, I remember you and everything is a great moment.
It's great, yeah.
They never share a scene.
They don't, and it also left me a bit more confused as to Clara because, like, we see her at the end of Series 9 go off with the character of me and their TARDIS flying away. So you think, oh, okay, she's out there living, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So these villains say that they basically pluck you at your death.
Yeah, and take your memories. And
So does that mean that she is now dead?
Yes. They'd have to really have picked the right moment because the Doctor freezes her when the pigeon's here. Pigeon?
Yeah, like
Raven?
Raven, just like...
So they must just get a little gash in her and then they grab her and get her. It's very strange.
So obviously with every ending with an incarnation of Doctor, he will have some kind of really good one-liner. Matt Smith had a great speech, very emotional.
The Doctor was me.
With Capaldi, he didn't really get that. Like, he had a great moment with Bill and Nardo and Clara and all that.
And the leaving the battlefield line.
Leaving the
Beautiful.
battlefield, that was great. But when he's in the TARDIS and he's about to regenerate, like, I really loved the whole, like, be kind and all that. But all the crap about the children, I was just like...
And, like, he doesn't say it once, he collapses, and then whenever Capaldi collapses, all of his words get spaced out a lot, which is usually great for emotion, but he's just saying the word children about 6 times, and it's like, eh?
Children.
But I will say that his final line is one of my favourite, the Doctor.
I let you go.
That's on par with Matt Smith's I'll Always Remember When the Doctor Was Me. Like, it's a nice...
Yeah. Because I also, like, along with that line from Matt Smith, I feel like those 2 last lines from Smith and Capaldi was them as actors as well saying. So, like, with Matt Smith, I'll always remember when the Doctor was me, saying he'll always remember his time on this show. And then Capaldi saying, Doctor, I let you go. Saying that he's finally come to terms with letting this character go, coming with terms that he is leaving this show. And I feel like it's great because it works for both the character and the actor. So yeah, I thought that those were both great.
It was a great regeneration. And then after that, of course, a brand new Doctor. So let's talk about that!
Oh, brilliant.
Her opening scene I thought was amazing because I obviously was reacting to it, and while I was watching it, you know, I'm going, this looks great, and then my ears kicked in and I heard the theme and I was like a little baby. I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And then the ring falls off her finger.
What a shot. Something that has never been addressed in the show is the Doctor's ring, like Capaldi's era. But the fact, as fans, we well and truly know that, you know, that is Capaldi's ring. That is his wedding ring. And obviously, Capaldi probably made up something to make that sentimental to the Doctor.
Yeah.
So the fact that it falls off is like, hey, Capaldi's gone. Like, this is, we're in. So, yeah, oh, what a shot.
Yeah.
Talalala, what a woman.
Great work.
What a lady.
Great work.
Her first line. So simple. So perfect.
And then also, you've got the TARDIS literally tilting itself on its side.
And just like...
almost looking like it's trying to throw her out. Like, you know, a lot of fans were like, oh, everyone's just saying that because she's a female Doctor. No, we're saying that because the TARDIS is literally throwing
it's
her
doing
out.
this.
It's literally like, can you please get out?
And also, everyone that's like, female driver for a sec. Have you seen every regeneration this modern era? It happens.
It
Shut
happens
up.
a lot. Like, you think that by now the Doctor will realise, don't take off when
just
you're
stay
about to
put.
regenerate. Just stay put. You
God.
can fall out the doors onto some pavement.
Yeah, it's fine. You'll be
That's
good.
fine.
Merry Christmas. And probably one of the most shocking cliffhangers Doctor Who's literally ever had.
Like, I was watching it,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, she's falling. And then when they get...
The TARDIS
you have that,
fades away.
I was like, wait,
Oh,
what?
damn!
And then you just got her falling. So, like, you, of course, had a really good
I have a theory, and I'm going to include it in this. We will have a video talking about what we think Series 11 will be, but I need to include it here. My dream, even if it slows down similar to Capaldi's when he's falling in Heaven Sent. Heaven Sent? Hellbent? Whichever one.
One of them.
The good one. If we have something like that and she's falling, and maybe she even has a monologue, and it's like straight away we know what her Doctor's psyche is because she's already thinking things.
Oh, that'd be
It'd be
cool.
so, and
Yeah.
like she's like, maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do this. These are all the options that I have
Yeah.
to escape this. But as she's falling, you hear the TARDIS sound, and she just passes through the box and lands on the floor, and she's in her new control room, and it's like, here we go. Obviously she'll keep
That
it closed,
would
but
be amazing.
imagine if the TARDIS saves her, because it's a time machine. There's no reason it needs to wait 5 years or whatever. Just do your job and come back in. Imagine that. Imagine.
But yeah, I reckon, should we give it a rating out of 10?
10.
Maybe a 7.
Mhm.
I was leaving it, so a little bit confused by the villain.
Premise, yeah.
What was going on with Clara?
Yeah.
The Capaldi speech wasn't the best
Yeah.
that it could have been.
I
What would you
think
give
probably
it?
I'd pump it to like an 8.
An 8?
Just
yeah.
because I think I've fallen in love with his Doctor
Yeah,
over the
yeah.
years. And I think the fact that they managed to make a nostalgia fest without being fan wank. We visually know what his era was like. We know how his Doctor speaks. So to honour that rather than pull in different things of his era, it's like we're just going to write the best version of his Doctor and let that be your memory of him.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, brilliant episode. But tune in at some point, possibly the next day, possibly the next week. It's going to be shot straight after, so it shouldn't be too bad. The camera will end in a sec. But we'll talk about Series 11 and what we think about it.
Yeah, our expectations as well.
And Sam will still be here.
Sadly.
Do you want to hit the camera? Hit the camera.
Hit the camera?
Yeah.
Well, he clearly misses you. That ship of his is in dire need of a good spring clean.
Quite frankly, that was offensive.